Welcome, one and all, to the basement. I wanted to talk about an album that I've liked since high school. It's called the Richard D. James album by Aphex Twin. This album has absolutely insane percussion on it. It's like shoving your mouth full of pop rocks and soda and sticking your head inside a cotton candy machine. When I first listened to it back in high school, some of the tracks seemed like they were just like clanging bullshit, but once you listen to them enough times, you start to pick the tracks apart and differentiate all the crazy beats going on. This is the album of his that's, I would say, the most rewarding to listen to carefully because there's just so much going on. It's different from his earlier stuff, which is, I mean, I kind of consider it background music, like Saw 1 and 2 and I Care Because You Do, because they're more repetitive, textural kind of albums. This album's kind of like Drux in that the percussion's just nuts, but Drux was even crazier. Something I like about Aphex Twin is that he always seems like he's trolling, like with his music videos and his album covers. The album cover, as you can see on this one, he's got like a menacing smile, but this is actually one of the happier sounding albums of his. It's also got a sense of humor. He's got some goofy noises sprinkled throughout this album, and this kind of music always puts like images or scenes in my head when I'm listening to it. Probably because there's no lyrics. So I'll give you a track by track rundown of what each of these tunes makes me think of when I'm listening to it. The first track is titled Four. It makes me think of watching old home movies or of a birthday party or of Christmas morning. Got these cascading snare rolls and the sound effects sound like waves hitting you. Cornish acid makes me think of sneaking through the restricted area of a government building, and the kick drum is really cool on this one. Peak makes me think of giant metal insects. It's got these loud clanging noise that gets more and more intense as the track goes along. Finger Bib has this warbling synth noise. It makes you think of like outer space or being on a space station or something. This one's super chill. It's the most catchy track on the album, probably. This one's easy to enjoy, like right off the bat. Karn Marth makes me think of being sucked through the TV onto a game show. This one has a lot of changes. It throws a bunch of shit at you really quick. To Cure a Weakling Child starts off with a creepy kid's voice that gets manipulated. It sounds like some AI child wants to like harvest your fucking organs or something. Goom Goompas makes me think of gnomes coming out of the cupboard and making you a well balanced breakfast. Yellow Calx is probably my favorite track on the album. This one just reminds me of just laying on the couch and playing video games all day and not having shit to do. It's got a bunch of perfectly placed sound effects and everything. Girl Boy Song. This song sounds like a metal drummer playing along as people come down the aisle at a wedding. This one's the most complex track on the album, and it's definitely the one that's a must listen. Then it ends with Logan Rockwitch, which has goofy ass Saturday morning cartoon noises, and it's kind of a tacked on track at the end, but it's a fun way to end the album. It's kind of charming in its goofiness. So that's about it. This album's one of my faves from back in the day, and there's not really any skips from me on it. I love the energy of it, the humor, and I like hearing some of the beautiful passages on this thing. And then looking at my phone or whatever I'm listening to it on and seeing Richard James look like he wants to rip out my kidneys with a fucking box cutter. The juxtaposition just amuses me. So give it a listen.